Today is Tuesday, February 23rd, 2016, and this week we are doing PSL number 7, and this is day 2, Tuesday. So, number 1, what is the surface area of the cone? Use the pi button and round to the nearest tenth. So the first thing that we need is, of course, our formula to find the surface area of a cone, which is pi r squared plus pi r lateral height. So there's our formula. The next thing we need to do is come over to our image and we need to find our radius. They haven't given us radius, they've only given us diameter. So if diameter is equal to 12 meters though, we need to find radius, which is going to be found by dividing that by 2. So half of 12 is 6, so our radius is 6. So from there we can substitute that in. And the last thing that we need for our formula is our our slant height, which is going to be this measurement either side, and it's telling us that it's a measurement of 11, so this is actually going to be 11 meters. So now we just need to start multiplying things out. I'm going to start with my exponent, 6 times 6, which is 36, and then I'm going to add to that over here, I'm going to simplify the 6 times 11, which is 66. So we have 36 pi plus 66 pi. We're going to add 36 plus 66 for a total of 102 pi. Next, using the calculator, I'm going to type in 102 times the pi button, and it's going to give me a big, long, hairy, ugly decimal. So the last step that we need to do is round to the nearest tenth. So to round to the nearest tenth, we need to take a look at the hundredth spot, and this number is not bigger than 5. So we are going to keep this as a 0.4, and I'm going to get rid of everything else. So we have 320.4, and we're going to put our label on. So we're measuring in meters, and because we're doing surface area, it's just going to be squared. So our answer is 320 and 4/10 meters squared is the surface area. Okay, number 2, we're going to write the equation from the graph. So the first thing that I want you to try and recall in your brain is what our slope-intercept form is. So jog your memory, see if you can come up with this, but it's y equals mx plus b. Hopefully you're really starting to get familiar with that. So the first thing that we need to do is find our slope. And the way that we find slope is by looking at our rise over run. This could be a change in y over a change in x, like a y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. But because we have a picture on a graph over here, we can actually just use our graph. So if you look at 2 points, so I'm going to choose this point and this point, you want to first rise. So I'm going to go from the point on the left, we're going to rise up 2. And then to get to the next point, we're going to run just 1, which gives me a slope of 2 over 1, which can simplify down to just 2. Next, we need to find our b, which is our y-intercept, which is going to be the point where x is 0. So what is our value for y? So as you can see from the graph, it looks like it's intersecting right at 0, 0, right at origin. So when x is 0, our y, that looks kind of funny, is 0 also. So we want to substitute those in, which gives us an equation of y equals 2x plus 0. However, if you don't want, you don't have to include the plus 0. So if you want to write it just y equals 2x, that would be correct also. Either of those answers are the correct answer. But the equation for that line is y equals 2x, or y equals 2x plus 0. Our last problem today is going to be another slope-intercept equation where we're given 2 points. We're given the point 4, 5 and 0, 6. And we need to write the equation, and that's going to be in the form y equals mx plus b. So the first thing that we need to do is find our m. So if you'll recall, slope is found by using the slope formula. So I'm going to name my coordinates up here, x, y, 1.
Nice, Mommy.
And x, y, 2.
Nice picture.
So now we just need to start substituting those in. So our y2 value is 6, and our y1 value is 5. Then down on the bottom, x2 value was 0 minus our x1 value of 4. So now I'm going to subtract 6 minus 5, which leaves me with 1. And 0 minus 4 is negative 4. So moving my negative sign out in front, I get a negative 1/4 is my slope. Next we need to find our y-intercept. And the way that we find that is by figuring out what is the value of y when x is 0. So the point that I'm going to use is the x being 0 point. So when x is 0, y is 6. So my y-intercept is equal to 6. Next you'll just substitute those values in. Negative 1/4 for slope and 6 for your y-intercept. So once you finish, it should look like this. Y equals negative 1/4 x plus 6. So that is the equation of the line that passes through those 2 points.
But